What if the ultimate cheat code in a fantasy world isn't infinite power, but the paralyzing terror of having no identity because you've been forced to master everything at once? In all jobs and classes, I just wanted one skill, not them all. Comedian0 L delivers a lit RPG comedy that weaponizes system overload against the overpowered protagonist trope, proving that true strength isn't found in maxing out every stat tree, but in the desperate, hilarious struggle to define yourself when the universe refuses to let you specialize. This isn't merely another Isekai-adjacent progression fantasy with broken mechanics. It's a witty, emotionally precise satire where every level up feels like an existential crisis, every skill notification is an unwanted burden, and heroism looks less like destiny and more like administrative burnout. From the first exasperated narration, listeners are plunged into a realm where optimization is oppression, and the only quest that matters is reclaiming the right to be mediocre at something specific. Perfect for fans of genre-deconstructing lit RPG and stories where humor masks genuine psychological stakes, this audiobook serves up relentless comedic timing, unflinching thematic depth, and a protagonist whose journey from overwhelmed jack-of-all-trades to intentional self resonates with anyone who's ever been told their versatility makes them valuable, while their exhaustion makes them invisible. When office worker Ren Sato dies from Kuroshi and awakens in Aethelgard with the Omniclass blessing, he expects legendary status, not to discover that mastering every job simultaneously means belonging to none, his mind fracturing under the weight of contradictory skill sets and NPC expectations. But as Ren navigates guild registrations and identity crises disguised as side quests, he realizes this curse isn't about power, it's about personhood. Comedian0 L masterfully avoids reducing systemic absurdity to mere gag or Ren to passive punchline. Instead, they craft a narrative where mechanical chaos mirrors modern labor alienation, where consent is negotiated through boundary setting rather than grinding, and where liberation requires rejecting the very metrics that define success. The audiobook narration amplifies this tonal balance, capturing Ren's weary sarcasm softening into dawning agency, while system notifications evolve from intrusive spam to reluctant dialogue partners as he rewrites his relationship with productivity. You don't just hear the comedy land, you feel the seismic shift of a man learning that worth isn't measured in unlocked abilities, but in the courage to say no to infinite potential. What elevates all jobs and classes beyond typical parody lit RPG is its nuanced portrayal of hypercompetence as trauma response rather than aspiration. Ren isn't really surviving OP mechanics, he's confronting how his past life taught him to equate value with utility, challenging the notion that rest requires justification. His relationships evolve through acts of radical reciprocity, sharing vulnerabilities with party members who see him as human, not build, setting limits that protect both sanity and camaraderie, and defending fellow adventurers from systems that reward exploitation over well-being. Supporting characters shine with authentic complexity, healers whose empathy masks burnout, tanks whose stoicism hides insecurity, even the Omniclass interface itself rendered as evolving entity whose glitches reflect Ren's internal resistance. Every interaction reinforces the novel's core truth. In worlds built on extraction, specialization is self-preservation, and presence is the only true mastery. Even the lit RPG elements serve thematic depth, with skill trees mirroring identity fragmentation and XP games marking moments of conscious choice over compulsive achievement. For audiobook listeners, this production transforms genre conventions into immersive storytelling. The narrator distinguishes Ren's internal monologue from system alerts with remarkable clarity. His voice carries exhaustion beneath dawning hope, while UI cues blend seamlessly with ambient soundscape to avoid auditory fatigue. Sound design enhances atmosphere without overwhelming immersion, the chime of completed tasks blending with village ambiance, the hushed tension of guild halls that feel like therapy sessions, the rhythmic pulse of crafting syncing with heartbeat during quiet breakthroughs, all ground fantastical elements in sensory reality. Pacing mirrors cultivation's addictive loop while honoring emotional beats, accelerating during satisfying optimizations, and lingering in moments where stats can't measure growth. Whether you're grinding through daily tasks or unwinding after long hours, the audiobook creates a portable sanctuary where escapism and introspection coexist seamlessly. It's storytelling as embodied reclamation, making virtual worlds feel urgently, achingly real. Ultimately, all jobs and classes redefines lit RPG by centering systemic empathy within mechanical mastery. It satisfies genre cravings for satisfying progression and OP moments, while delivering substantive commentary on hustle culture, neurodivergent coded overwhelm, and the courage required to build meaning beyond metrics. No prior series knowledge is needed. It stands confidently as a complete journey from frustration to transformation. If you've ever wondered whether success requires accepting dysfunction, or if second chances demand repeating old patterns, this audiobook will affirm that true power lies not in transcending humanity, but in improving it. Press play, embrace the grind turned growth, and prepare to believe that even in worlds built on mysticism, the most important upgrades happen off-screen. Your next favorite isekai isn't waiting in min-maxed builds. It's waiting in the quiet revolution of valuing people beyond what they produce.